Hello, I'm Peter Capaldi. Welcome to Geek Syndicate.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, species around the multiverse, welcome to Geek Syndicate episode 287. What we're doing? I'll tell you what we're doing. We are bringing the sass back to geekdom. That's me, Monts, and him,
Nuge. But I'm not bringing sass. I'm bringing death and destruction.
Wow. Okay, what kind of mood are you in?
Right. Let me just explain myself. Right. So obviously, nights are drawing in. It's autumn. Right, and what happens? This is when I have to go on like high alert, because this is when like high alert in the Nugent household, because this is when like the spiders start to come into the house.
Oh, you ain't kidding, man!
Right, so literally yesterday, I heard like a kind of shriek, and it was Sue. I came downstairs. What's going on? It was like a giant spider, like just on the floor, just chilling. Yeah. So I did what I normally do, which was put Steve the cat in the room, because that's what he's there for, to earn his keep. Looked at the spider, batted the spider. Spider kind of ran towards him. Steve chipped. I mean, he properly chipped out of the room. Like, it's got, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Right. So then Sue basically left the room, and she said to me, "Go Jack Bauer." Now, let me just explain what that means. What that means is Sue has a standing policy where she doesn't really.
You told me this policy.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't like, you know, she doesn't approve the killing of insects, right, or any creature on God's earth, right? Now that's all good. I kind of have a different policy depending on the circumstances. So every so often, Sue will just say to me, if it's like a spider too big or she's too freaked out, she'll just go Jack Bauer and leave the room. Now, anyone who watches 24 would know that what I mean by that statement, i.e., do what you got to do, plausible deniability.
Yeah.
Right? So she left the room.
I love that you got codes, man.
You know what I mean? She left the room. She just went, "Go Jack Bauer," went upstairs. Right. Shut the door behind me, looked at the spider. I'm like, "Sorry, dude." You know what I mean? If I had a silencer to screw in a gun, do you know what I mean? So I took it out the back, you know what I mean, out into the garden, got it in some Tupperware, put it out in the garden. To be fair, didn't kill it, managed to get it outside. But when it walked out, I literally stood there and shouted out into the garden, "Tell your friends, this house is protected."
You're just worrying, man. You're just worrying.
You know what I mean? Come at me, because I'm telling you, right? I gave that one a bly. Any other spiders come at my house, it's open season on all you eight-legged asses.
It's like that old tactic, innit? You kill everyone and leave one alive, so they can go back and tell everyone.
That's what I'm saying. And when he gets back to his boys, he's like, "Don't go in there, man. He was everywhere." Do you know what I mean? Where are you?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's probably the longest intro I've ever done.
I know. Kira just goes, "Monster," while looking at the spider hanging on the roof, on the ceiling.
I have to say though, my mum used to be able to take a fly out in midair with a rolled up tea towel.
No, they had that ability, that generation. It's a generational thing, man. They had that
ability. You, man. Just look at one and just, I thought, wow, that is hardcore. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about geek stuff.
Yeah, so you got any shout outs?
Yes, I have a shout out. I want to give a shout out to
your ex. This is a shout out to your ex. You really hurt them.
Finished now.
Yep.
Right. I'd like to give a shout out to comic writer and artist Rachael Smith, who's not my ex.
Rachael Smith.
Rachel, big up, who was a guest on one of our panels.
I remember it well, and all I can do is say, Rachel, I just want to say thank you for the hate yous and the tattoos, and oh, I'm good, by the way.
Are you going to keep doing this all through the episode?
Sorry, man.
Just let me know now, because...
No, that's it. I've got it out my system.
If I know, then I can dial it. I can just phone it in today. Do you know what I mean?
No, I've got it out my system now.
Right, okay. So she's doing a Kickstarter for her autobiographical comic strips called Wired Up Wrong. And it's basically focusing on her own sort of personal sort of struggles with depression and anxiety. And it's actually going really well at the moment. I think when I last checked, I think she was at 60% on her Kickstarter, and I don't even think it's even been going for a couple of days.
Well, that's nice.
So I think she's well on her way. She's still got 28 days to go, and she's currently on 4,894 quid, and she's asking for $6,000. So she's doing pretty darn well. But obviously, I wanted to recommend it just because I know Kickstarter is a thing. There's just loads and loads and loads and loads of Kickstarters. It's difficult to always put your hand in your pocket for something. But I read her comic. Well, we reviewed it on the podcast. Yeah. It was The Rabbit, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I've got a bit of a special place in my heart for comics that kind of deal with depression and stuff. Because obviously we had Danny Abraham did Worrywart. Which again was fantastic. So I think, so I'll put a link in the show notes if you want to go and check out Rachael's Kickstarter and find out a bit more about the comic.
Cool. Let's talk about the week that was. Right, I want to start because you said, should we talk about trailers? And I said, I ain't seen none. And I just realised I'm lying.
Okay. I've
seen one trailer.
Right.
The Punisher.
Yes, I've seen the trailer for The Punisher.
How'd you come out of that?
I watched that trailer and I thought to myself, I've got to be in the right frame of mind to watch that show. Because people, and this is just in the trailer, so they could only show certain things in the trailer.
I know the exact words you're about to say.
People are going to get messed up, man.
I'm telling you. People getting hurt, man. With prejudice. With extreme prejudice. And also, it's like, do you know what I mean? As I've grown up, my tastes in music have got more eclectic. But back in the day, do you know what I mean? I wasn't a metalhead. I wasn't even a rock head. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't your man for even guitar-based soft rock. Do you know what I mean? That wasn't me. But I had in my possession one record. I actually bought it by a group called Metallica. And that's what was playing throughout that trailer.
Oh, okay.
And the minute I heard it, I just said, I've listened to this track when I was younger. And just the fact that they're playing this track is just, it just tells you everything you need to know. It's kind of, darkness imprisoning me. All that I see is complete madness. I'm like, all right, man, that tells you all you need to know right there. It's like, darkness, madness, imprisoning me. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we get it, dude.
Talk about driving a point home, man.
People are just gonna get effed up, man. I think there's a line as well where they got like the cop, who's a brother in it, and there's a line where like someone went, "The Punisher's dead," and he just goes, "Does this look dead to you?" Does this look like the work of a dead man? I was like, okay, man. Nah, just wrong.
So the question: are you gonna watch it? That's the question, really.
I am gonna watch it, but like I said, I think I can't even say that I liked him in Daredevil because I don't necessarily know if he's a character you say that I like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I appreciated his presence.
Yes, I appreciated the work that he was doing in there.
I appreciated the work he was doing, killing people.
Just brutal. And my thing is, it's like, but that was kind of split up with what Daredevil was running. You know what I'm saying? So
basically, that season should have been called Daredevil and the Punisher.
Yeah. So my worry is him on his own for 8-10 episodes of just that kind of unrelenting brutalness, and the fact that him as a character, just how's he gonna hold it all together for like 10 episodes? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because it's one thing to sort of, to be honest, there was a lot of character stuff that was going on with Frank Castle in Daredevil, to be fair to it. you know. But it's just whether or not they can sustain that again over like a 8-10 episode show, whether or not we're going to get that same sort of flab that we've had with the other Netflix Marvel shows. Yeah. That's my worry with it, and obviously the unrelenting grimness of it and unrelenting violence. You know,
don't be afraid to drop the amount of episodes, people. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Every time a studio exec comes around my house, I'm just saying, dude, just, don't be afraid to cut the amount of episodes every time over a cup of tea.
Yeah, well, whilst you're there, maybe you could cut me some slack and get me a next Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Whilst we're on the subject of Marvel, so we pretty much covered the Punisher, didn't we?
Yeah.
Also, we don't know when it's coming out, do we? They're just going to drop it sometime, which is weird, I have to say, but
Gifted?
No, that's not what I was going to say.
All right.
I was going to say Marvel, right? And just Marvel in general, man. Look, right? You rocked up to San Diego, you bought Infinity War footage, everyone went crazy about it. Why am I not seeing a trailer now? Why am I not seeing footage? This is nonsense, man.
Maybe it's nonsense. Not very good.
Come on. Come better than that, man.
Maybe it's not finished.
Do you know what I mean? No, man. We're in a different time now, and I just get annoyed with this whole kind of like, the special few have got to see it, and everyone else has got to wait until they deem us worthy to see it.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Sorry, I'm with you now. I didn't quite understand what you're saying. I'm with you now.
Yeah. And there's like if you go on YouTube, there's like real bad footage, which I've just stopped before I've even really got into it. The minute you start, you can hear people cheering for it and stuff. And I'm like, do you know what? I can't, when I was like 10 years ago, I could have sat through that sort of thing. But now I'm just like, I just want to see the proper footage. And I just think once again, and I get it. I get people have had to queue up to go and see it at San Diego, but not everyone's got that ability to do that.
That time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
and I understand the fact, you know what I mean, of all of that. And even if you want to just make it exclusive by making people wait a little bit, okay, that's fine. But San Diego was like, that was months ago. Come on.
Yeah. I hear you.
All right.
Well, if we're talking Marvel, and I just want to take it out of the realm of the silver screen and just talk about comics.
Okay.
So there's a number of. I'm just going to give you a rundown of the stuff I'm loving at Marvel. It's more comics than I want to be reading, but I love it. So I'm going to go quick. Spider-Woman, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, loving that. Spider-Man, as in Miles Morales Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Black Widow, damn.
Yeah. That is quality.
Patsy Walker, Hellcat. Champions, I'm just looking at. Invincible Iron Man, I'm waiting for it because it hasn't. Basically, what's it called? The Marvel service thing hasn't caught up with the first trade's worth. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Silver Surfer, just kooky. All new Wolverine, loving it. Power Man and Iron Fist, just, even though it gets dark, it still makes me laugh. But the one comic, and do you remember Hawkeye? Just saying how Hawkeye was just different.
Yeah.
All the Marvel, and it kind of stood out. It stood heads and shoulders above everything else because it just came from a different angle. The execution was something else. The one comic, and it's finished now. They had 12 issues and done. Yeah, is a Vision.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have never read a Marvel comic that I thought was beautiful, horrible, and scary.
Okay.
It was awful, B. I mean, it's nothing like Hawkeye. Do you know what I mean? Hawkeye had a certain tone to it, which was kind of, this is from the beginning of the first issue. You're like, nothing's going to end well.
Right.
And literally, it could end badly for everyone. I mean, the whole world.
Okay.
what they're playing with here. Yeah. And it's got things like, but the thing is, they tell you what's going to happen. So like, they'll meet somebody and it ain't a spoiler because you're sitting there going, what? You meet somebody and he goes, in 3 weeks' time, as he died in a searing inferno, Bill would wonder why he hadn't left town just at that point. You're like, you're telling me these people are going to end horribly. And when it happens, you're still like, it's as if they didn't, it's just, I can't It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
So are you still getting these through Marvel? Is it Marvel Unlimited or whatever it is?
Marvel Unlimited, yeah.
Okay, so because I know they've recently joined the Comixology one, whatever Comixology is called, Comixology Unlimited, maybe, I don't know.
I haven't had a look at that because I was thinking the other day that part of the reason I haven't caught up with any DC stuff is because chasing stuff down and buying it and getting it. I'm like, if there was a DC Unlimited service, I'd be all over that.
But I think the Comixology one is still just for the US. If I'm wrong, people let me know. But I think it's just still for the US because when I looked at it, it was, which is kind of what I'm waiting for, really, because that's what I would rather have. Because then I can get my indie titles as well and pick up the occasional sort of Marvel or whatever if I want to. But for me, one of the comics that I read when I was away on holiday a couple of weeks ago. Have you heard of a comic called The Dying and the Dead? It's an Image comic. It's by Jonathan Hickman.
Okay.
I'll read you the blurb, right? A murder at a wedding reveals a 50-year-old secret. At great cost, a man with a dying wife is given the opportunity to save her. A lost tribe is reborn in another time. All seemingly desperate events which force relics from the greatest generation to come together for one last mission. Brought to you by award-winning writer Jonathan Hickman and fan favorite artist Ryan Bodiham. Why can't people have straight up and easy names, man? The Dying and the Dead is high adventure meets end of a life.
Okay.
I'm gonna say now I've read the first, I think, 5 issues all in a row. I couldn't put it down, and I have one phrase to say.
Go on.
Up there with Planetary.
Wow, what?
Up there with Planetary. I've got nothing else to say. It's up there with Planetary. For me, at the moment, it's up there with Planetary. I absolutely loving it. Proper pulp adventure. Basically, you know what I mean? It's this kind of old dude who back in the day was in World War II, and they kind of discovered something they shouldn't have done, and he kind of gets called back in to try and find it again. But to do it, he has to call in like his old boys from back in the day. It's almost like Hannibal from the A-Team getting called out of retirement and having to put the A-Team back together.
You can stop now, man. Yes. You sold me with that.
Yeah. But throwing like effectively what looks like the Spear of Destiny as well. And you know what I mean? We got ourselves a party.
All right.
Yeah. Art's fantastic. And it's Jonathan Hickman, so you know, whenever you pick up something by Jonathan Hickman, you got to kind of like bring your A game, reading wise.
Yeah. He don't make it easy for you, does he?
He don't make it easy. But this one, I have to say, some of his other stuff has sort of put me off because it has been just too convoluted. But this one I've actually really enjoyed. Even when it's got a bit complicated, I've really enjoyed it. So, yeah. Dying and the Dead. Telling you won't be disappointed. If you like Planetary and what's the one Warren's doing at the moment?
Injection?
Yeah, Injection. Yeah, you got to get on this.
Okay. All right. I'm convinced. I was talking about weird stuff. Gone straight out my head. Did I talk to you about Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency?
I can't remember if we talked about it on the podcast or we just had talked about it over the phone.
Can't remember. Well, what I'm going to say then is I thought... So there was the English version, which was a bit poor.
Right.
Actually. And then this American one, which has got, a lot of English people in it anyway.
Got Elijah Wood in it as well, hasn't it?
Yeah. But the casting is amazing because everybody they've cast, you just want to look at because they all look a little bit odd.
Okay.
Odd's not the right word, but they've all got something quite unique about their looks. And as the time went on, I went, literally everybody with a talking part just looks a little off.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And it was great. I'd say it was the most entertaining, creative, time warping series that I've seen on TV in a long time.
Blimey.
Well, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Am I selling it too big? I don't know. It was just fascinating.
Okay.
And you're going, this makes no sense, but it all comes together. And it's one of those things where it's like, do you know what? I don't quite understand what's going on. It'd be really good if someone could explain it. And then they do.
Right.
And you go, oh, that's good. Thanks. And it's not in a way that's just like, this is what's happening. It kind of part of the story. Like, I could follow this. I don't know. It was just, I can't praise it enough.
Okay. All right. Because I did watch I got through, I think, half of the first episode, and it wasn't that I didn't like it, but for whatever reason, it just wasn't the right time for me, and I kind of left it, and I haven't gone back to it. But in that time, I've heard people say a lot of good things about it.
I completely understand why you'd watch it and go, nah, not for me, because it's odd, B. It's odd. It's weird.
Is it one of them ones you got to kind of binge it out?
I think so.
Okay. Binge it out is a new word. It's a phrase I'm trying out, see if it sticks.
Yeah, liking it.
Okay. I want to get in quick 2 rants.
Go on then.
Right. Rant 1, and I'm sorry, this ain't really a spoiler. It might seem like a spoiler, but it ain't. I saw a trailer for the new Flash. The next season's Flash.
Okay, go on.
And
can feel my heart. Just
spoiler, he's back in the first episode. And he's got a beard.
He's got a beard?
Yeah, because apparently that's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah, all right.
So to me, what I've seen of the trailer could be different. It just looks a little bit like what they pulled with Buffy. In that, when she died.
When did she get a beard?
Yes, deleted scenes. But anyway,
okay.
when she died, and then Willow brought her back.
Yeah.
Basically, it just looks very similar in the fact that they basically looks like they're bringing back, but he's not quite there.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Too long in a prison, interdimensional prison.
All of 6 months.
Right.
So I'm
like an eternity.
Yeah. This is true. I know the last series felt like an eternity. Hopefully it will prove me wrong. I've decided I'm going to try the first episode because I rewatched the very first season 1 finale the other day, and I know what the Flash could be when the Flash is good, and I still believe it's got the potential to be as good as it was back in the day. So I'm going to give the first episode a go. Now I'm going to give the first 2 episodes a go. And if it's not up to its game again, I'm out.
You said that about Arrow.
Yeah, exactly. And Arrow upped its game.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, and the last season of Arrow, I couldn't fault. I loved it. So I'm back in now. And they've
fought it.
I had issues, but But overall, I enjoyed it. This is what we talk about. We talk about whether or not you enjoy something. Do you know what I mean? And overall, I enjoyed the last season of Arrow.
All right.
You know what I mean? Last season of Flash, however.
Right. Just because we're talking Arrow,
okay.
I just got to mention, and I think I mentioned this to you a while back, is the Young Animal imprint from DC Comics, which is headed up by Gerard Way.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the 4 titles was Cave Carson Has a Cybernetic Eye.
Yep.
And I've just finished the first trade of that. Pure pulp.
Yeah, you were telling me about this, weren't you?
And it's great, but in it, it's Wild Dog. Now, you only know Wild Dog from the Arrow. Yeah?
Isn't it? Is it Wildcat?
No, Wild Dog.
Wild Dog, the guy with the hockey mask.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you got Wild Dog from the comic here, and this is Wild Dog without the CW sort of censorship, man.
Right.
Because look at CW, you got Wild Dog. He's a guy, basically, he's pissed off with life and everything and himself, and he's got 2 guns, and my boy killed nobody.
Hang on. A, 2 things. A, he has, and right. B, have you seen his backstory yet?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
But I still think I still find him a bit.
Oh yeah, he's a little bit over the top sometimes.
Yeah, he just
it's kind of Punisher light, isn't he? Really?
Yeah. Whereas Wild Dog is basically, you can Wild Dog go, this is basically DC's Punisher.
Okay.
And he's but he's in it as well because Cave Carson needs some help.
Right.
And I just loved it. I loved it. I binged it.
Right.
I was
binged it out.
I'll read it. I binged it out. I'll read an episode. I'll read an issue. Binged it out, mate. Binged it out.
Nice. Whilst I'll just do my second rant quickly, which is a rant mini review. So I've watched episode 3 of Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
Right. And
a lot of the people I've seen on Facebook going, episode 3 really picked it up, loving it.
I did enjoy episode 3. I did think it was probably the more, when you look at the first 2 episodes, sort of back to back, there's definitely much more of a Star Trek J.J. Abrams vibe to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas episode 3 did feel much more like a traditional Star Trek episode.
Okay.
With a bigger budget. Effectively, and shot slightly differently. And I enjoyed it, and I'm in for the ride. Yeah, I'm still not completely loving it, but it's enough there to keep me going. Here's my problem, right? It's a mild spoiler, but it's not that bad. So obviously, but if you've not seen Star Trek Discovery, hold your horses for about 2 minutes and then come back. It's a little pause now. Some instant music. It's enough. Right. So obviously, she got sent down.
Yeah.
Right? Life.
Yeah. Which I thought was a bit harsh.
Right? It was a bit harsh, I thought. Do you know what I mean? Although actually, when you see how it opens and where they are now, you kind of think, well, given the fact it kind of was her fault, well,
yeah, all right.
But basically, it's 6 months later. And here's my thing, right? That's not even my rant. Here's my thing. Why have you got to do a standard 6 months, man? I would have preferred it. I'm not saying 6 months in a Starfleet prison isn't hardcore, but how much more hardcore would it have been if it had said like 6 years later?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And she's been in prison for 6 years.
Yeah.
I just think 6 months just isn't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's a mouth. So here's my thing, right? She spends this episode head. I just want to do my time, blah blah blah. I don't want to cause it because she gets brought on to Discovery. I just want to do my time. Don't want to cause any trouble. And I'm saying, and literally, what she does something. I won't say what it is.
It causes trouble.
Literally after saying, it's not even something she causes trouble, but it's something that she does, and I'm like. To me, that's the equivalent of me going to your house and saying, "Look, Monts, don't worry, man. I've just come round to see you. I'm not going to cause any trouble." And then picking up your TV and throwing it through your window.
Right. Okay.
And then looking at you, going, "Well, I didn't really want to cause any trouble, but I'm here now." Do you know what I mean? I was literally just sitting there going, I genuinely do not understand why. And here's my problem with her character sometimes. Some of her motivation, I kind of struggle with. Why would you do that? Right. What are you going to gain from that? There's certain things that she does. I'm like, okay, I get it. But other things, that particular thing she does, I'm just like, why? Anyway, I'm enjoying it.
I look forward to watching that.
Got any last thoughts?
I have no last thoughts.
Okay. I will very briefly say then. I'll talk about this more next episode, but I will say I've been watching a show called The Good Place.
I love The Good Place.
Are you watching it?
I love The Good Place.
I've only seen the first 3 episodes.
What, of season 1?
Yeah.
I'm on season 2.
Damn.
Mate, you got some surprises to come.
Let me tell you, right? What I like about the show is it's a nice show, right? It's not gut-wrenchingly funny, but it's funny.
Yeah.
But what I quite like is the way, so far anyway, every episode's kind of ended in a little bit of a cliffhanger. And a couple of things they've already pulled, even though I kind of saw one coming, I thought the way they did it was really well done. The brother who plays the professor who's teaching them to be good. Yeah, my boy's got some comedy timing, man.
He's great. He's great.
You know.
I'm loving the whole cast, to be honest.
I think she says something to him like where she's trying to guess where he comes from, and at the end, she kind of to show she's got good. She's like, and as a present for you, Senegal, and he's like, literally, that is the very basic level of human decency that you know where I come from. It's just the way he dropped the line. I was just like, So for people that don't know what this show is, to cut a long story short, The Good Place is kind of heaven in inverted commas, and this woman gets sent there, and what we discover is there's been some sort of mix-up, and she shouldn't really be there, and she should be in did they call it the bad place or the other place?
They call it the bad place.
The bad place. And what I quite like about it is the fact that they don't show you what the bad place looks like, well, at least not at the moment. But there's a bit where she's like, so what is this bad place like? And they've got this kind of personal assistant who's a little bit like Alexa.
She's hilarious.
Yeah. And she says, well, I can't show you what the bad place is like, but here's an audio clip. And she plays like this.
That's great.
Oh, damn. But yeah, it's a really it's a clever show. It's a clever show.
I literally want to be in your house when you watch certain episodes.
Right.
I mean, not in a weird way. Just
no. You're peering through the window.
Yeah. You're taking flash photography. No.
Okay.
But, mate, you come back to me. You will.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
So this is on Netflix, people. So check it out. It's only I'm quite a big fan now of 20-minute shows. So
hit it and quit.
Yeah, hit it and quit. You know what I mean? Binge it out, as they say. So
yeah, it's easy to binge it out when you can hit it and quit it.
Yeah. So I am gonna do this, and I promise by the next time we record, I will have watched some of the Orville, which everyone keeps saying to me I need to be watching. So
don't get hyped.
Okay.
It's no one's salvation. Do you know what I mean? I'll just enjoy it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give it a go anyway. See how it goes.
Yeah.
But that's after I've watched Blade Runner.
What the original?
Yeah. Because
so it's taken the sequel to come out.
No, it's taken Sue watching Harrison Ford and Ryan Gosling on the what's his name, on the Graham Norton show.
Oh, what was it about that made her go, let's watch this?
Well, she showed, Sue's into sort of genre stuff nowadays anyway, but they showed a clip of it as well. And I think she's heard some stuff about it. So she's kind of like, right, get hold of the first film, we'll watch that, and then we'll go and see the sequel. And I'm like, all right.
Okay.
It's quite nice. To be honest, it's quite a nice position to be in, to be able to sit. You know what I mean? Both of us be able to sit and watch it and have had no real experience. I mean, I've seen parts of Blade Runner, but I've never seen the whole film in its entirety, beginning, middle, and end. So that would be good. And I want to go, and I really want to see the sequel sharpish, because it's starting to get a lot of hype review wise, and I kind of want to get in there before
the hype takes over and spoils it.
Before the hype wave hits. So cool. All right, buddy.
All right, man. So, you know the score, people. Get in touch. Tell us if we're talking rubbish or if you agree with us. You can do it by emailing us at thegeeks@geeksyndicate.co.uk. You can get in touch with us on Twitter, on Facebook. Don't forget, we've also got stuff like Pinterest and the other one, Instagram. That's it, the other one. And of course, don't forget to check out the website, geeksyndicate.co.uk. Also,
don't forget to check us out on our Patreon. And big thanks to everyone who's been supporting us on Patreon, because that has been paying basically for the podcast for the past.
I was going to say the bills.
Yeah,
bills.
Yeah, the bills you don't see. The bills for the podcast.
Barry's rent.
Yeah. No, shut up. For podcast hosting, server hosting, and various other bits and bobs that we have to pay for on a yearly basis for Geek Syndicate, which Dave has no idea about, much like the President of the United States. So I am the Jack Bauer of Geek Syndicate. And so big thanks to you guys. That has made things a hell of a lot easier for us. I've started putting out a couple of podcasts on the Patreon feed. The latest being Thoughts from Nuge. See what I did there?
I did too. That's very good.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, hoping to pick up on those, and who knows, maybe one day Dave might do one on there.
Yes, maybe tomorrow, but maybe not.
Probably not. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, we done.
We're done. Yeah. So until next time, Geek Syndicate. We out.